I spent 8 years in e-commerce, done over $20 million in lifetime profit. And I've never seen a market split this fast or this clean. There's no gray area anymore. You're either about to get wiped out or you're about to make more money than you ever have. Same niche, same products, completely different outcomes. And the reason comes down to one shift that most store owners are still sleeping on. And I've seen it before though, not in e-commerce, but in history. And once I show you the parallel, you won't be able to unsee it. Now look, I'm no history teacher, but there's one thing that I do know about history, and that's that it repeats itself every single time. And right now, we're watching it happen again in real time. So let's go back about 200 years to the early 1800s during the Industrial Revolution. And listen, I promise I'm gonna make this interesting because what happened back then is literally what is killing dropshipping right now. You see, back then, you had these people called master weavers. Now, these guys were absolutely elite at their craft, spending 20 plus years perfecting their skills. They could weave intricate patterns by hand that were genuine works of art, and they made damn good money doing it. These guys were respected, successful, basically untouchable in their field. But then one day, some guy shows up with a power loom, a machine that could do in 1 hour what took a master weaver an entire week to complete. And you know what the master weavers did? They laughed. They said, that machine, it can never match our quality. Our customers, they value craftsmanship. This is just a fad. But here's what actually happened. That machine, it didn't need to match your quality. It just needed to be good enough at a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the time. And within a decade, those master weavers who refused to adapt, they were completely out of business, gone. Meanwhile, the weavers who said, you know what? Let me learn how to operate these machines. Let me use the technology to boost what I already know. Those guys became factory owners. They became wealthy. They 10x their output and their income while working less. The crazy part is that the weavers who lost everything, they weren't bad at their job. They were actually the best. Unfortunately, they were so confident in their old way of doing things that they refused to see the future standing right in front of them. And that stubborn mindset, it cost them everything. In fact, it got so bad that these weavers formed groups called the Luddites. They literally went around smashing machines in factories because they were so threatened by the technology. They thought that if they destroyed enough machines, well, they could go back to the old way. That is how desperate these guys were just to hold on to a system that was already dead. Now you're probably asking, well, why am I even telling you this? Well, it's because right now, in 2026, AI is the power loom. And most dropshippers are acting exactly like those weavers, saying things like, oh, AI is overhyped. My way already works, so why change anything? And yeah, that mindset, it's gonna get you booted out of this business sooner rather than later. And here's what everyone is getting wrong about this. Everyone thinks AI is killing dropshipping because it makes it way too easy to start a store, which brings in too many people, it makes it too saturated, and there's too much competition. And yeah, that is a part of it, but that is not the real problem. The real problem is that AI is splitting dropshipping into two completely different groups. Group one is the people who see AI as a threat. These are the people who keep doing things manually because it still works. These are the modern day Luddites, and they're without a doubt going to struggle because the stores using AI can do more in a day than they can do in an entire week, and you can't keep up with that manually. Now, group two are the people who are using AI as leverage, the innovators. These people see AI as a tool to amplify what they already know, and these are the ones who are going to end up becoming big brand owners. They're using AI to handle the grunt work so that they can spend their time on the stuff that actually grows the business instead of being stuck in the weeds all day. So listen, the people in group two, they are not smarter people. They're not more talented. They just made one simple decision. Instead of fighting this wave, they just decided to ride it. But I'll be real, here's the scary part. Most people hear that and they say, okay, cool, I'll use AI, but they have no idea where it actually matters. They'll slap ChatGPT on their product descriptions and they think they've adapted, when in reality, the real shift is happening across your entire operation. And if you miss even one piece, someone who didn't is going to take your spot. But let me ask you something. If I told you that AI could save you 20, maybe 30 hours a week in your dropshipping business, would you believe me? Probably not, right? Most people wouldn't. So let me prove it. I'm going to go through the 4 most crucial parts of running a store and show you what it used to look like versus what it looks like now using AI. And we'll add up all the time that we saved by the end of this quick walkthrough to show you exactly what I'm saying. So number 1, product research. The old way, you would wake up, you'd open up TikTok, and you'd just start scrolling. You're looking at TikTok made me buy it videos, you're checking hashtags, and you're going through AliExpress bestsellers page by page. From there, you then hop over to Amazon movers and shakers, you sort by category, and you start clicking through hundreds, if not thousands of products, trying to spot something with momentum. Then you find something that looks interesting. So you go check if other stores are already selling it. So you're Googling the product name, you're then checking Shopify store directories, looking at Facebook ad libraries, just to see how many people are currently running ads for it. And you're trying to figure out, is this product already saturated? And is there still room for me to compete? Now that entire process for just one product takes right around 4 to 6 hours to complete. And most of the time, you go through all of that just to realize that it's not a winner. So from there, what do? Well, you start over tomorrow. Easily now at this point, over 15 hours a week just to find something that is worth testing. The new way though, AI tools are scanning millions of products across TikTok, Amazon, Shopify, Facebook ads, all of this in real time. I mean, there's even tools like AutoDS now that are tracking the engagement live for you. They're watching how many views a product video is getting, how fast the comments are growing, how many people are saving it, sharing it, and even tagging their friends. So instead of you sitting there trying to figure out if something's trending, the tool is already telling you, hey, this product just went from 10,000 views to 500,000 views in 3 days, and the comment section is full of people asking where to buy it. Where that 15 hours a week that you have to do manually to find a product is now down to maybe like 2 or 3 hours. And your hit rate goes way up because you're not just scrolling and praying. Second is with your ads. So the old way is that you would find a product and now you need a video ad. So you then go to Fiverr, you find a freelancer, you send them the product link, you explain what you want, something like make it look like a TikTok, keep it under 30 seconds, and show the problem and then the solution. They say, okay, cool, give me around 3 days. Then 3 days later, you give back one video, maybe 2 if you're lucky. So now once the video gets back, you watch it, and you believe that it's fine, it's not great, but you already just paid $200 for it, so you're gonna go ahead and run with it anyways. So now, you throw it up with Facebook or TikTok ads, you set a small budget, let's say $30 to $50 a day, and you wait. Then after 3 or 4 days of waiting and spending your hard-earned money, you've now burnt through $200, and the results are mediocre. The hook isn't grabbing people's attention, the click-through rate is low, but you've only got that one creative. So now your only option is go back to that same freelancer, pay them another $200, wait another 3 days, and then try this whole entire process again. Where one round of creative testing could take you 2 to 3 weeks and cost you over $1,000 or more, and you still might not have a winner. The new way though, you take a raw photo, or your own clips or supplier videos or UGC style content, and then AI edits all of that for you. And I'm not sitting there talking about those janky AI generated videos that you've probably seen floating around that look like a fever dream. That's not what this is. Because in 2026, there is zero excuse for your AI content to look like AI content. The tools are good enough now that literally nobody can tell the difference. In fact, somewhere inside this video, and I'm dead serious about this, I'm going to be clipping in a 5-second segment of me that is completely AI. The voice, the visuals, everything. And I'm going to be checking the comments below this video, and if anyone can comment the exact timestamp of where this clip is, I will personally send you $500. Okay, I'm playing, but I will give out a free one-on-one consulting call with myself and my team, so keep your eyes peeled, alright? But now with this new process, in one afternoon, you've got 20 to 30 ad variations ready to test. All different hooks, different angles, and different pacing. You throw them all up, but now instead of testing one creative, you're testing 20. Where within 48 hours, you know exactly which hook is grabbing people's attention, which angle is converting, and which version to scale. Where what used to take 2 to 3 weeks to complete and over $1,000 to be spent, now it takes only a day or two for like a tenth of the price. Third is copywriting. So the old way is you sit down to write your product page and then you just stare at it. You open up a competitor store to get some inspiration, but you don't want to just straight up copy them. So you try to rewrite it in your own words and it just comes out awkward. Then after having this mediocre product page, well then you realize next that you need ad copy. You need a primary text, a headline, a description for every single ad variation. Then even after that, you need email marketing sequences for abandonment carts, for post-purchase follow-ups, and for win-back campaigns. And look, if you want the exact AI prompts that I use to write all my product pages and store copy, I put together my full prompt pack and it's linked below for 100% free. And this cheat sheet is going to save you a ton of trial and error because it gets ChatGPT actually speaking in your brand voice from day one. So let's add all this up. Product research, 15 hours a week, down to 2 or 3. Ads, 2 to 3 weeks of testing, compressed into a day or 2. Copywriting, 8 to 10 hours a week, now down to 45 minutes of your time. Customer service, 3 to 4 hours a day, down to 15 minutes of just checking in. We're not talking about saving a little bit of time or a little bit of money here. We're talking about getting back 40 plus hours every single week and saving thousands of dollars. That's basically a full-time job's worth of time back in your pocket every single week. So no, that is not a small edge. That is a completely different business. But nobody actually tells you what to do with that time. Because look, saving 30 hours a week sounds great, but that's not actually why this matters. Because most people hear that and they think, cool, I get to work less, I get to relax, I get my time back, and yeah, you could be doing all of that. But that's not what people making real money are doing with it. Here's what they're actually doing. They're not saving time, they're reinvesting it. Think about it. Before AI, your entire week was eaten up by the grunt work. Research, emails, writing ads, waiting on freelancers, answering customer tickets. You were busy all day, every day. And most of that work wasn't actually growing your business, it was just keeping it alive. So every single day you were stuck working in the business, never on it. Where now you've got 40 extra hours a week, and suddenly you can do all the stuff that actually moves the needle and helps you really grow your business. You can launch a second product while your first one is still running. You could test a completely new niche on the side without your main store suffering. You can actually study your numbers, figure out which products have the best margins, which ads are giving you the cheapest customers, and where you're leaking money. You could build a brand instead of just running a dropshipping store. You can set up a real email list, create content, and build something that has actual long-term value instead of just chasing the next trending product every week and starting from zero every time. And you see, that's the difference. The old way, you were trading time for money, where every dollar that you made cost you hours of work. And the moment that you stop working, well, the money stopped too. But the new way, you're using AI to handle the repetitive stuff so that you could focus on the decisions that will actually help you move the needle and scale. Where you're not working harder, you're just finally working on the right things. And here's what most people miss, is that the real advantage isn't just to get your time back. It's that AI scales in a way that you just never could alone. Because your effort stays roughly the same, but your output compounds. That's not linear growth, that is exponential. That's why I say that people who figure this out now won't just be more productive, they'll be operating at a completely different level than those who waited. So there's never been a better moment to start learning how to use it than right now. And look, I will be real with y'all for a second. I remember having all this information and still making the wrong moves. And it wasn't because I wasn't watching the right videos or I didn't understand the concepts. I understood them. I just had nobody in my corner telling me, hey, don't do that yet, or that number doesn't work, try to fix this first. And in 2019, that gap cost me over $20,000 in losses. A story that I don't want to get into right now because of just how much it still stings, but what kills me is that all of that didn't even have to happen in the first place. I mean, literally just one person who actually knew what the numbers were supposed to look like and knew what they were doing before I made that move, it would have saved me from all of it. So if you're at that point where you feel like you have all the information, but you're still not sure if you're applying it right, that is not a you problem. That is a support problem. And that's exactly why I built my one-on-one mentorship, where you'll have myself and my team in your corner every single week, reviewing your stores, your ads, your numbers, and telling you what to fix before it costs you, no matter your experience level. So if that sounds like something that you've been missing, you can apply for one of the limited spots that we have available with the link in the description, and let's go ahead and see if you're a good fit. By now, the question shouldn't be if you should use AI in your dropshipping business. The question is, how do you actually rebuild your entire operation around AI before this window closes? And that's exactly what I break down in my full step-by-step tutorial of how to start Shopify dropshipping in 2026, where I walk you through everything from store setup to finding winning products with AI to scaling profitably, so you know exactly what to do from day one. So grab that AI prompt pack that I mentioned earlier, that cheat sheet, bring it with you to the next video, because I show you exactly how to plug it in and use it the right way. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I better see you in that next video. This is AC with Supreme Ecom, and I'm out.